What is going on, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Trading to Glory. My name is Elite, and today we're talking about Black Friday's market crash. What's going to rise out of packs after Black Friday? What's going to drop during Black Friday? And what do you do with the cards that you have right now in your club going into Black Friday this week? We're going to cover all that in this episode. So if that's what you're looking for, you're in the right place. I actually did enter into my first weekend league of FIFA 20. And the reason I haven't been actually uploading in the past couple days is because I haven't had internet. So I started my weekend league today, and it hasn't been going great. I'm 7 wins and 5 losses, which I guess isn't terrible, but it's not great. But I think, for my first weekend league and not playing too many games, I'm all right with that. Just try to get to 11 or 14 wins. But this video is not about gameplay. We're going to go ahead and get into these cards and know what is going to happen to each card. Like, is it an elite card like Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi or Ronaldinho or Hullet? What will happen to a mediocre card somewhere in the middle? Marco Reus, Dybala, somewhere in that mid-range. Very usable cards, but not quite Messi or Ronaldo. What's going to happen to some of the lower mid-range cards, Davinson Sanchez, stuff like that? And then what's going to happen to the lowest range cards between like 79 and 82 rated that are still holding value? We're going to cover all of that. And the best way to do so is to go back and look at what happened last year. It's a good implication, a good idea to see exactly what happened last year. Although the trends won't follow what happened last year exactly, it'll give us a good idea of what to expect in these upcoming weeks. Not only this week, not only Black Friday, not only the couple days after Black Friday, but also into December, because that is important as well, because we see a lot of big drops in early December as well, which could be related to Black Friday and also to the Team of the Year market crash that happens in December for when that drops in January. So we're going to cover all that in this video. The best way to do that is to go over to FUTBIN, and we're going to look at some cards from FIFA 19. FUTBIN is not a sponsor. They are just one of the best in terms of covering the data of player prices and preserving them throughout the years. So you can actually go back to previous FIFAs and look at the data and what their prices were on certain days, which is really, really nice. You can click on there, go all the way back to FIFA 10. They weren't keeping track of the prices in FIFA 10, but they do have the database of the cards. I'm pretty sure they started keeping track somewhere in between like 15 and 17. I don't know if 14's there anyways, but we're going to look at FIFA 19. It's the most recent, it's the most relevant to what this Black Friday is going to be like. So the first card we're going to look at maybe something in the middle, just to kind of get an idea of what's going to happen. So Marco Reus is something in the middle, as I said, and unfortunately not popping up there. Let's try it again. Not popping up again. Not sure why, because I was actually looking at this card previously. I do believe, I think if I click on it again, there we go. All right, so it didn't work a couple times, worked the third time. I knew it would work because I tried it a couple minutes ago with Marco Reus. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to this daily graph, and it has it all throughout FIFA 19 for when they were recording. They started a little bit late, but not too bad. You can see that first rise in price as we see at the beginning of every year as people get more buying power. And that word or phrase, buying power, is very important for our Black Friday talk, because it has a big effect on player prices. So here's the early rise in October, and then starts dropping a little bit, just naturally, more supply hitting the market, and then takes a little bit of a rise there, not sure why. But as we get to November 23rd, which is Black Friday of FIFA 20, or FIFA 19 was November 23rd. This year it's November 29th, I believe, so a little bit later this year. But November 23rd, you can see that's a dip in prices. It's not a huge dip in price. You can see the weekend league before it, it was 38K, 43K on PlayStation, 38K on Xbox. And then on Black Friday here, he was 34K on PlayStation and 30K on Xbox. So a little bit of a drop, nothing huge, but definitely could add up if you have a bunch of players like Marco Reus in your team, if you're losing 5 or 6K per card. But also take note of what happens throughout Black Friday. He actually rises up on Saturday, drops again on Sunday, rises a little bit on Monday, drops, rises up, And then on the Friday, December 7th, starts really dropping quite significantly throughout the rest of December and into January. We're going to cover January in a later video. That is getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but we definitely got to look at December. So that's basically what happens with Marco Reus, a mid-tier card. And we're going to use that to compare it with other cards like Cristiano Ronaldo. So go back over to FUT19's players, and we're going to take a look at Cristiano Ronaldo. Unfortunately, that one's not popping up. We'll go ahead and go to the base card. Cristiano Ronaldo right there. Here we go. So let's go and take a look at what happens to his card during Black Friday. Does it drop like it did with Marco Reus? And what you see is, can't really tell where Black Friday is here. Well, you actually can, because it's right about here, right before he starts rising quite significantly. I mean, take a look at what he was before Black Friday. This was the pre-market crash, I guess you could say, for Cristiano Ronaldo. Hit a peak of about 2,050,000 on Xbox. And then he sort of dropped about 100, 150K at times. In between that range into the pre-market crash hype, because everybody's like, oh, Black Friday's coming, he's going to drop in price. What happens to elite cards is different from what happens to some of the smaller, lower rated cards, lower priced cards. Very, very different. So Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe, right? Even maybe players like Antoine Griezmann, that's pushing it. Players like Pele, players like Hullet, Vieira, and any good icons that people want to use. Those cards are still very relevant in the game. Very relevant. People want to use those cards in their team. And that's what we are still grinding towards using right now. Those are the best cards in the game. That's what the ultimate team is right now. As we get past January, and as we get towards team of the season later in the year, that's not going to be the ultimate team anymore. Gold Ronaldo is going to be pretty good, but not elite like he is right now, because there's going to be so many other Gold Ronaldos. There's going to be so many other left wings or strikers from Serie A that you can use that are even cheaper than, what's his price right now? Or what was his price back then? Right now, Ronaldo's like over 1 million coins in FIFA 20. But you get the idea that I'm trying to put into your head. There's more buying power that comes up during Black Friday, despite the fact that there's more supply. Yes, that has to be taken accounted for. But everybody who's spending FIFA points, everybody who's trading, everybody who's doing these SBCs are generally making more and more coins. And people have more buying power. More people can afford Ronaldo. And those people buy Ronaldo because he's one of the best strikers in the game. He's still relevant in the game. And that's why he does not drop on Black Friday. Elite cards will rise through Black Friday. And not just a little bit. Look at this rise last year. He went from 1.9 million coins on Xbox up to 2.2 million coins. Almost a 300K rise there. Almost a 300,000 coin difference. And he holds that price relatively stably throughout December as well, until the January, market crash of Team of the Year, which actually does start a little bit in December. He gets another card, the Team of the Year, Cristiano Ronaldo. It's very, very different on the elite cards. Let's go and take a look at some of the lower rated cards, because that is going to also take a different route that, let's say, Cristiano Ronaldo or Marco Reus-esque kind of cards do. We'll take a look at Davinson Sanchez first. He's not too low rated, but he is 84, which isn't really low rated, but it's definitely a lot lower than Ronaldo. So he's going to get packed more. More supply for Sanchez than Ronaldo. And then again, there's also more people buying him. So let's go ahead and see how he fared for the FIFA 19 Black Friday. Davinson Sanchez probably shouldn't be too different than Marco Reus. Here's as we enter into November, pretty up and down throughout the October and November times. You can see him rise up on Fridays for Weekend League and then drop back down at the end of the weekends. And then we enter into Black Friday again, drops from Black Friday. This was the Weekend League before, which is currently going on right now. This is the Weekend League before, going on right now in FIFA 20. This is what he peaked at during that weekend, which was 34K on Xbox, 43K on PlayStation. And then after Black Friday was over, on that Monday, Tuesday, he was down to 22K on Xbox, 29K on PlayStation, which is definitely a very notable drop. I mean, that is not something that's, oh, he just dropped a little bit. I mean, that is a good 30% of his price as well. but then he rises back up right afterwards. So he recovers, kind of similarly to Marco Reus. And then the Team of the Year hype, the Footmas hype, and the other promos that dropped during December brought him back down in price. But you start to realize that there's another wave where you can sell these cards. So if you're holding right now, and we've missed this peak, you've missed that peak. I might have missed it with like Anthony Martial here on my team. I might have missed that peak that I could sell for. Maybe I'll try to list them for overnight, get the coins. But if I missed that peak and he's already down here, I can just wait until end of early December, I guess you could say, a week after Black Friday, or at least a few days after Black Friday, and sell them back on for at least some of the coins back, more than what I would have gotten during that Black Friday pre-crash and Black Friday crash. Let's take a look at one more card, even lower rated, just to finish off what were, our, I guess, study. One of the other cards that people used last year was Valencia. Enter Valencia, there we go. And we'll go ahead and take a, no, not that Valencia. Actually, the other Valencia is the one I meant to grab. The Valencia from Manchester United. And I'm not sure why he didn't pop up there and isn't popping up right now. I'll go ahead and explain what happens to those lower rated cards because the graphs wasn't popping up for me. What happens to those lower rated cards, and I guess you could say some of those cards might look like Ferland Mendy this year. Very good card, still very usable. Haven't really had a replacement for him yet. Once we do, I think this Ferland Mendy is going to start dropping in price, but he's a very good card nonetheless. You can see his price right now already probably dropping from what I bought him at. I bought him for like 23,000 coins, I believe. And he's already down to about 20,000 coins right now. But he's only 80 rated. And with all the 100k packs and all the 50k packs and 125k packs that dropped during Black Friday, a card that is this low rated, it can't keep up. It's going to get packed too many times and it's going to drop in price because of those packs. It literally just cannot rise. As much as people want to buy this card, as good as it is in-game, which it is very good. I used it this weekend. I've been using it. It's a very good card. It's just too low rated. It can't keep up. It'll hold some value, but I could see this card halving in price, at least dropping to around 12 or 13,000 coins at its low point, at minimum. So that Ferland Mendy's definitely going to take a big shot on his total price. And very similarly, Nelson Semedo, very similarly, maybe Marcus Rashford as an 83 rated is probably going to drop a decent amount on Black Friday, especially given that Marcus Rashford has a lot of replacements already. Ferland Mendy doesn't. So I could see Ferland Mendy recover in price a lot quicker than I could see Marcus Rashford. So when we actually do trade on Black Friday, which I'm going to bring out quite a few videos for it, and we'll keep up with the market. So make sure you guys have notifications on at least this week. You can turn them off after Black Friday. But keep an eye out for all of these prices. So that is what you guys need to do going into Black Friday. So if you've missed the peak, let's see what the prices are looking like right now. I'm going to upload this video right after I finish recording. So you guys have the real time. Anthony Martial, I bought for 14,000 coins before the weekend started. Let's see if it's too late to sell this Anthony Martial or people are still buying. Let's see about this Anthony Martial. Right now, Anthony Martial is still going for almost 14,000 coins. I could go ahead and get those coins. I could sell. And I could take that because I think Martial is going to drop even farther. I could see Martial getting between 7,000 and 8,000 coins, maybe 9k if it doesn't drop as much as I think. 9k at the minimum. So that's another 5,000 coins that I definitely want to be holding on to here. So I'll sell the Anthony Martial tonight if I have him, which I do. Ferland Mendy, definitely a card I want to offload, especially before Black Friday. This is one of those cards that isn't going to be like Marco Reus. It's not going to be like the Davinson Sanchez. He's not going to rise up as much afterwards. Although he will rise a little bit, it's not going to be up to the point where he is right now at over 20,000 coins. He will never reach this price again in FIFA 20. He'll never be over 20,000 coins again because of all the supply that hits on Black Friday. Now, those are some untradables, and then I've got a Nelson Semedo, which kind of follows follows the same trend. Musa Sissoko, exact same thing. These are not really great cards for me to be holding on to right now, and I understand that. I'm taking a little bit of a loss on these so I can play Weekend League this week, and I understand I'm taking a loss. If you're holding on to even more of these cards in your club, get rid of them and go ahead and take the coins. Now, if you're holding on to a Roberto Baggio, on the other hand, there's a couple more things to keep in mind. Because Roberto Baggio, he's not quite Cristiano Ronaldo, not quite Messi, but he's also a little better than, Marco Reus or Dybala maybe. So right now he's chilling at about 496,000 coins, which is what I bought him for 2 days ago. Right now, he's pretty rare on the market. Not too many of them. After Black Friday, that's going to change. But people will still buy this Baggio, especially as more people complete the Politano SBC, or objective, I should say, which I guess most people that have done it are going to do it, have done it already, but there'll still be more people to complete that. This Baggio card still has demand, whether it links to Politano or just goes into the team in general, because a lot of people will use icons. It might not be a Hullet level or Cristiano Ronaldo level of rising in price, but this card isn't going to drop a ton until other icons like the Prime icons are released and stuff like that. So I've got a couple more weeks where I can be safe with this card. Will I sell it before Black Friday or after? I'm not 100% sure on what I'm going to do yet. I'll probably take the profit when I see it and then go, but it could actually rise going out because it's a little bit harder to gauge. It's not a Cristiano Ronaldo, so is it going to rise that much out of Black Friday? It's tougher to gauge those kind of cards. All right, last thing we got to cover in this video are cards that are out of packs. Those don't get added supply, so why would they drop in price? The only reason that these cards are going to drop in price are, one, other similar cards that are in packs will drop in price. So if you got an Ndidi, but Rodri goes down to 3,000 coins, which I'm not saying he will, but Rodri's another CDM from the Premier League. So if he's that cheap and then Ndidi is 80k, then people are going to be like, all right, maybe Ndidi's a little better, but he's not that much better. So that Ndidi will drop in demand because people are just picking up the cheaper options. The other reason for this is panic. Beforehand, they will drop into the Black Friday panic. People want to be liquid. They don't want to risk anything. So these informs might be great pickups as we get into like Thursday and Friday of Black Friday, when that real panic from the Timmy community, I guess you could say, the noob community really sets in. Go ahead and invest in a couple of these because the supply won't rise from packs, but it will rise from panic. So there will be more on the market, even though there's actually not really any reason for them to actually have more. There's no supply coming from EA. It's all from the panic. And so these informs, yeah, they're not going to quite drop as much as the other cards, especially if they're low rated. You don't really have to worry too much about those, especially exiting Black Friday. The only thing you got to worry about is other options dropping. If it's a similar option with Ndidi, if another Leicester City inform comes out very similarly to Ndidi, if Ndidi gets a second inform during Black Friday, during a time of a promotion, the lower rated inform's gonna crash. But those are the only things you got to really worry about in terms of those cards dropping in price. Hopefully you guys learned something in this video, and hopefully I helped you guys out with helping you know what to do with these cards this week, because it's definitely something that we needed to look into, and it might be a couple days late. I meant to have this video up at the beginning of the weekend because I wanted to make sure you guys could sell into the Weekend League hype, but unfortunately my internet has been out, and I finally just got it working today. So much apologies for that, guys. Hopefully you forgive me, and if you guys have been enjoying this series, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. That's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Peace out.